I think we're live. The bending is so different. It happens a lot faster. That's where your ears come in. That's quick. Probably because of the thickness of the string. What's up? What a week. What a friggin' week. Who do we got? Matt, Troll, Scott, Richard, Chris, and Wendell, and Strat CPO, and Michael, and Rockin' Rob, Johnny R, Fretless Ed, Rico B, Richard C, Ron T, Jeffrey, and that Scott dude. Way to break the rhyme, bro. Doom chord. What's up, Frank? What's up, Speaker? What's up, dude? Tim, Goldacre, Super Lead, Mike G, and Assad Bashir, and Dennis, and Diana, and Bonkers. I've had a chance to play this guitar a lot this week. I haven't played other guitars, but not this one. I shot Monday's video today for the new guitar of the week, and that will come out on Monday. And there you go. How's the Squier feel? And, it feels very much like a Squier, maybe a tiny bit chunkier, but, it's a classic vibe. But, it's a very comfy neck. It's not a big old chunky chunk neck, which you might think because of the heavier strings, right? They're worried about reinforcement, so they use a chunkier neck, but it's not. Oh, man, that's good. I haven't had coffee really all day. Been a busy day. Been a busy week. Got up this morning. I had to do that. Had to do the shoot the video, take a shower, and then there was a memorial service for a buddy I've known for years, pretty much since my teenage years. Known him since like the early 80s. He passed away over the summer, and they finally got around to doing a memorial for him, and it was great. I ran into so many great people. It's like, oh, hey, oh my God, I haven't seen you in so long. And, and his wife went up and gave a wonderful, just beautiful memorial. And people went up and said nice things. It was really great. A little eye-watering, but, certain situations make my eyes rain. And there was no getting around it today. What's up, Ronnie? What's up, James? Frank? You have the Susan Cadesti signature, and the fretwork sucks. They're hit and miss. The fretwork on this is actually pretty stellar. But the fretwork on, I think I had a Fender Mexican Strat. No, Telly. Fender Mexican Telly. And while it was fine, like down around here, when you got up to the high area, and they're like, these guys never play up in here. My God, was it sharp. And I think to really do it, the neck would probably have to be taken off to really smooth those edges down. And I was like, this is, you got to remember that 1,000 is the new 500. Those guitars aren't cheap, Crazy to be hanging out with old folks. Real Rosewood. No, this is, what's the Laurel, right? It's Laurel. I was going to say Palfaro, but it's not Palfaro. It's Laurel. Sorry about your loss. Yeah, he had actually suffered a pretty major heart attack in the spring, and he never really recovered from that. That was the end of that. And about 10 years older than me. And trying to get your house resided before the snow flies. So's the people across the street. They've been out there banging for like a week now, getting the siding done. I'm a wreck at them things, yeah. No, it's tough. It's tough. Weddings and funerals. I'm a friggin' puddle. What's up, Gary? I got a Squier CV precision bass a few weeks back. It's been pretty good. Yeah, the Squier classic vibe stuff is good. Dare I say, maybe a touch even better than the Fender. That Fender MIM. I mean, certainly the fretwork was better. I think I might have liked the pickups in that Tele better. But, that last mile of, quality control just sort of wasn't there on that particular model. Laurel or Yanni? Laurel. Laurel or Hardy? Hardy. $1,000 is the new 500. Sucks. Paycheck is the same. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I'll give you a great example. The friggin' RAM. Putting together that RAM for my daughter's system for her case finally came in today. I mean, I'm telling you, man, it's a cursed build. I know a cursed build. I'm telling you, is this wigging out on me here? No, it's all right. I'm telling you, man, it's a cursed build. It's been cursed since day one. And we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I finally got I couldn't wait on the processor. I had to cancel my order. I had to order it from Newegg because Amazon literally couldn't fulfill it. But the RAM price, when I bought my RAM back in July, it was $79. When I bought it for my daughter's system, it was $129. That's a $50 increase. I checked the other day just for shits and giggles. What's it going for now? $219. I was like, oh, that sucks. Thank God I got it in before the friggin' price increase. And that just could be because, again, supply and demand. There's fewer vendors that have it in stock, and the people that have it are just gouging. That happens in the tech market quite frequently. So the only reason that guy is asking $219 is because he can. There's no one else undercutting him. I don't see me as a Tele player either. Is it Hardy Laurel? Yes. Hold off on upgrading RAM. Yeah, there's a big run on, your laptop RAM might do slightly better because it's not the right form, it's not the right size for these AI server farms. But there's been a move away from the proprietary gear, the stupid expensive proprietary gear that AI uses, and instead they're trying to move to more off-the-shelf parts, and that puts a strain on. They can only make them so fast, and so there's a little supply constraint out there right now, and that drives prices up. What's up, Eddie? What's up, Ronnie? What's up, Craig? So yeah, it was a super, super busy week. I finally got her new case in. My God, what a friggin' behemoth. This thing is huge. And it's heavy. I was carrying that box. I was like, yikes. That's a monster. It's all right. Doesn't really move it much. It'll sit on top of her desk. Do I have the friggin' hiccups? I can't remember the last time I had them. Do anything for Halloween? No, we went out to lunch. My wife and I went out for a wonderful lunch. I guess that kind of counts. And that was it. Got home and sort of prepped for the kids. And I actually kept a little tally counter to see like how many kids we got. 42. We got 42 kids. I was just curious. You know, maybe it'll help us, you know, plan for future years. Oh, thank you, Dennis. I know it would take the market, but I hope the AI bubble bursts. You know what? It's gonna. It could take a little bit. Eventually, there's going to have to be some money made somewhere, and you know, until that happens. So, really sounds damn good as a THU or just you. I think it, you know, it is THU. I think this patch does really well with single coils. Thing is, it keeps that compression up. Versus, I mean, that's not bad, but it gets almost a little too much, you know. Is that a Fender a budget brand? Well, it's the Fender budget brand. It's a Squier. What is it? I'd have to think of it. I had to look at it again. Oh, thank you, Napfred Master. Try one of these at GC's. I almost walked out with it. Sounded amazing. Tuned down the whole stab. No, they're good. They're good. You know what? I forgot to open the. I'm gonna open the window for the cats. It's actually getting pretty hot in here, and it's pretty cool out. And they would love it if I opened the window. And I meant to do that. Let me just open the window for the cats real quick. They will appreciate that. You know, let's see how long it takes before we can lure one down here. What a nice chair you got there. I got this chair. I'm not even kidding. I ordered this from the laptop on my I had with me when I was in my hospital bed in the living room of my house with my broken leg. And I was going through, you know what? It might have even showed, we were probably getting the weekly paper. It might have even showed But I couldn't go out and get it because I had a broken leg. So I'm pretty sure I just ordered it through their website, and I got 3 of these, and they were $49.99. And I tell you, this is the last of the 3, but they have lasted. They really have lasted through the years. Yeah, it's when I was in the bike accident moped, scooter, whatever you want to call it, in Bermuda. That is good. I haven't had a cup of coffee all day. You've had too much leftover Halloween candy. Well, my wife is pretty smart. She doesn't really get the chocolate any longer. She gets all gummy crap that I can't stand. I don't eat any of it. And the kids love it. She gets like ring pops. I'm like, ring pops? God damn. There's nothing worth eating. She's like, yeah, pretty much. You know. You guys have a good week. We were pretty cool this week, but we had some rain blow through last night. It really the night before, but on the back end of it, man, that wind was gusty out there. I don't know how accurate it is, but my little weather vane out there, my digital thing was hitting. I think we had a 71 mile an hour gust. I was like, that's pretty good. Handed out full-size candy bars, none left. Word got out. We had a guy around the corner who used to do the full size. But we tend to do, the kids seem to really love the gummy stuff. Gummy eyeballs, gummy skeletons, right? You know, gummy worms. And of course we do the ring pops, and there's something else, gerbos, which I don't know anything about. There's some sort of like gummy bear or some sort of gummy candy, right? And it's in like a gold. All the kids recognize it. They were like, "Oh, gerbos!" Oh, and I was like, "Oh, whatever." God damn, what happened to Milky Way? You know, we had some good costumes come through, and we had some adorable. You know, it's all about the adorable kids. Little dino costumes, twick a tweet. It's like, oh, you are adorable. Can it handle drop D? I don't know. I worry. It was getting almost a little. Oh, hours. Hours of fun. All right. The low E is actually tuned to B. B, B, E, A, D, F sharp, B. I only knew some prong rips, yeah. Fall back an hour, yeah. No, we fall back an hour tonight. I don't think it's around the world, though. I think it's a U.S. thing. So I could literally come on here at 1 a.m. and go until 2 a.m. and it would be 1 a.m. again. Reality, what a concept. I have not tried any of the sweetened tunings. I have some built into my Peterson tuner. They have the sweetened tunings. I've never tried either. I should try them, though. You know? Yeah, not Arizona. It's state by state, right? Yeah, we get our hour back today. Hour back. Germany went last weekend. Really interesting. Am I going to be up later, bro? I don't know. Well, yeah, I know it's been a long time since I've done a U up. We'll see. We'll see how I'm doing. Wait, my phone's not here. Check my sleep. Did I get excellent sleep last night? Tell me, I have to ask my phone, how should I feel? It's all state butts to Arizona, sure. Of course. Why make it hard? You know, it's like we'll just have one state. It's easy. So I'm 1 hour earlier for you. Wow, over in Central Europe time, huh? Good. This is from Boston, probably doesn't agree with the U-Hub show time slot. Well, but I'm done here. She probably wants to watch the rest of the World Series because we've been sort of watching it this whole week. What a set of games. Thoroughly enjoyable. I've really enjoyed the World Series. And then she also wanted to watch because we usually catch the Great British Baking Show. And we haven't watched this week's episode, so that's going to be at some point. Do we have any cats? No cats. It's getting cold out there. Now I'm feeling it. I was like, it's hot in here. Not any longer. It's quickly turning pretty freaking cold. Steve, is it me, but the younger generation is more stupid Or is it us? Well, every generation feels the generation before it is lazy and stupid. These kids today, they don't want to work. And you should listen to the music they play. Yeah. That drum's been beaten forever. Exactly, and stay off my lawn. Truer words were never spoken. What's up, Aljon? So we had a good Halloween. You know, you get older, you miss it, not having the little kids. You're not going out for the Halloween anymore. You know, it's over. And you're like, okay. Huh. And then all you can do is enjoy the kids coming by. You know, let's see these. Oh, they're adorable, though. And the little pumpkin outfits and, you know, oh, little Spider-Man outfits. Like, little princess. It's freaking awesome. I love it. See what's his face is with Kiesel now? Yeah, that guy, guitar player. I'm gonna assume you meant they could have wrapped it up. That's WRAPPED. They didn't rape it up. It's a very different outcome. I know I know. It felt like they had a chance, but now it's all done. It's a one game World Series. One game to decide the winner, but more importantly, the loser. Yep, we ran around dressed up as a family. Yeah. Well, you miss it. You miss it. Just checking the comments here. Oh yeah, right. Eric Gales. That's right, Eric Gales. I couldn't think of who it was, but you're right. Yeah, which is great because then they don't have to make a left-handed guitar, right? He plays righty upside down, which is kind of the agony of defeat. Oh my God, I remember. I'll never forget it because it's just one of those moments where, as a kid, I don't think I had ever read a book and laughed. I would laugh at TV and cartoons and things like that, but I don't think I ever read a book and really laughed out loud until I think I was it's probably 9 years old, maybe 10 years old. We were in the library and I found, you go through, we're killing time in the library, in my local library, and I go through and I find a book on ventriloquism. And it's all about, how to get a doll and how to work on throwing your voice and the technique and all this stuff. But then he gets into routines. And I'm reading through the routines, right? And the guy goes, he says something like, use the word defeat in a sentence. And the dummy goes, tight shoes hurt defeat. And I burst into laughter because, that's a 9-year-old, 10-year-old joke all day. And I just remember just being just like, wow, written comedy can be funny. I had never laughed out loud, I think, to a book until I had read that. And I was in freaking tears. I couldn't get out of my head. Tight shoes hurt the feet. I was like, this is brilliant. that is writing. What in the wide, wide world of sports? My son's best costume by far was I'd have to think about my daughter's, but my son's best one was when he went to Sharknado. That was a brilliant costume. Used a ground steak and wrapped it up in, like cotton, like webbing, and the sharks. And they put the, those, light sticks, the little thin ones, the light bands, all through it to light it up. And it was friggin' amazing. That was by far, it's not even close, his best costume. Yeah, that's a total vaudeville shtick. Little shtickola. Yeah, Frank Gambale's been with them. I mean, who else? I feel like, what's his name? Yeah, the country guy, Johnny, God, I can't think of it. It's on the tip of my tongue. I can see him, but I can't think of his name. Sharknado picture, it didn't happen. All right, hold on, I'll find a pic. He went to Sharknado. I gotta say, it was a pretty good costume. I'm just saying. So let me think. That would have been maybe, let me try October 2014. Let me look through. Oh. Am I already into... What was that? That was October 13th. All right, I got to go a few more. October 22nd. No, I don't think so. I don't think it's... No, he's still in school. All right, this is the school costumes. And I don't think... Yeah, that's not it. So if it wasn't 2014, let me try 2015. Give me a sec here. 2015. Could be 2016. Yeah, because there's October 31st, and he's not there. Okay. Let's try 2016. August. Hold on. That would have been October. You go page up. Page up. If it's not this year, it's definitely the next, because he wasn't... Oh, there it is. There he is. Yeah. There it is. Right there. See? And what's great is that the opening almost looks like the jaw, right? If you've ever seen the bones of a shark, almost looks like the jaw opening. This is a tomato, right? So this has got hoop rings in it, right? Here we are out front. He's got hoop rings. You can see the line coming down. That's a stake that goes in the ground. That's like a tomato. That's like a tomato trestle, right? And it's all wrapped up. There he is going out. Going out as Sharknado. Which was, not going to lie, a pretty awesome costume. He was so proud of that costume. When he said he was going as Sharknado, I was like, it's never going to work. And I couldn't have been more wrong. Because, it was so smart to put the sharks and to whip it around. I mean, it looked so good. I was like, oh my God, that really is Sharknado. But of course he had to be able to see. So we had to cut open a thing and it almost looks like the jaw of a, right? You've seen that. You've seen the bones of a shark or the cartilage, whatever it is, right? Oh, yeah. No, that was a good one. People loved it. He got so many comments on that costume that year because, of course, Sharknado was still really big, right? Sharknado's been over for years. I think the last one was in 2017 or 2018. So it's been a while since there's been a Sharknado, but not that year. That year, Sharknado was all the rage. And he said, yeah, you know what, I'm going to Sharknado. And I was like, it's pretty good. That's pretty good. Yeah, it's Tomato Cage. Tomato Cage match. Yeah, Greg Howe, Alan Holdsworth. I met Alan Holdsworth at the Kiesel booth. What's your take on NVIDIA's $5 trillion valuation? I tell you, they are the darling of the AI market. That's what's driving those numbers up. Pretty good. Oh, did I finally lure a cat to the window? I thought I might. That's a cat trap if you ever saw one. When as Peter Criss for a few years, I never did the Kiss makeup, but I would see it out there. I never did the Gene Simmons or the Paul Stanley, any Ace Frehley. Never did it. But I would see it out there. Yeah, Jason Becker, of course, yeah. With Kiesel. He's been with, Carvin first, but Kiesel now. I like this guitar. It is a longer neck. It does take a little, getting used to. I'm just trying not to whack anything. That's pretty good. Yeah, Kiss was totally cool. I mean, when Kiss had lunch boxes, God, I couldn't tell you how many kids had. I mean, I'm sure I had a Scooby-Doo lunchbox. I'm sure I had definitely a Scooby-Doo one. I'm trying to remember the other ones I might have had. The Scooby-Doo is the one I remember, but I'm sure I had multiples over the years. And the Kiss lunchboxes, my God, absolutely. Do you have to transpose on the fly? I probably could, but I'm just playing what I normally play, and it's just in B instead of E. One dude was like, can you play that thing in anything other than B minor? I'm like B major? So I had a massive score this week in the guitar area. I can't talk about it yet because I never like to talk about it until the video comes out. But, you know, it was just one of those things where a guitar came up for a very good price, and I just stared at it for all of like 10 seconds, and I said, you should just buy this. You're not going to get it any better than this price. And so I did it, but I got to get it. I got to do a video on it and get the video out. And this week I have 2 videos planned, and I think the following week I think I have another 2 videos planned. So it could be a good 3 weeks before you see this. But at some point you'll see it. It's not going anywhere. What's up, Cam? First time live. UMass Western. Nice. Out at Amherst. Out past Worcester. Worcester. We're a brown paper lunch bag family. Oh, we got there too. Well, eventually you're too embarrassed to bring a lunchbox. Not every kid, but it wears off and you start to brown bag it. No more lunchboxes. Is it the PRS double neck? Nah, dude, why you got to give it away? No, of course not. That's too pedestrian. I got the PRS triple neck. Wasn't cheap. Think you'd like the Baritone when you tried 7 strings. You know, I like the sound of a 7 string. I can't stand the width of the neck. It screws me up. I sold off my Chapman 7 string, and I have one 7 string Chibinez Tuniverse that I can't really sell, that I keep as like my sole and only friggin' 7 string, and I don't care for it. I'm not crazy about it. You just drove down Flag Street and waved at the house I didn't buy. There you go. That was a nice one. We were looking at a few this week. My wife found this house. When I tell you, it had like a 20-car like barn in the back with multiple levels and a total workshop. You cannot believe the woodworking tools this guy. He's got to have at least 100 amp service out there, if not 200 amp. I was like, oh my God. I'm like, this is a nice house. It is really nice. Yeah, the lunchbox no longer cool. Eventually it wears off. It's the PRS Hydra. Yeah, I got the Hydra 2. Dude, it's a nice hood, right? That area up there? It was the one in Worcester there on the hill there. I'm just saying. People are talking. Many years ago, a triple neck Ovation popped up. Nice. Missed out on it. I think it would have been the stupidest purchase ever. Sure, but sometimes you got to get a little nutty. You know, house hunting for reals? No, not for reals. My wife and I will sit down here and she'll go, look up 1 Buffington Hill Road in Worthington. I'm like, I love that address. Where are you from? Oh, from Buffington Hill Road, of course, in Worthington. Indeed, yes, quite. God, though, she found one recently. My God, that... I said, I'll just live out here. You can have the house. I'll live in the friggin' workshop. My God. Had a giant propane tank on the side. It was clearly propane heated. I was like, oh my God. Oh, yes. No. Yeah, exactly. I'd be the king of Worthington, who of course would live in Buffington, at 1 Buffington Road. 1 Buffington Hill Road. Don't sell me short, bro. What did you think about the Back to the Future Gibson and Epiphone anniversaries? Real nice. It was just a limited to 1,985, 1985. So they sold out quickly. But I think they could have, made a double, maybe even triple, and probably still done really well with them. But it was a truly limited edition, and it seems like they went pretty quickly. They're out there. They're gone. Exactly like 1212 Mockingbird Lane. What was the? I'm trying to think of what was the Bates Motel address, right? Did you try the Tonex? I have not tried the Tonex yet. They sent me the Tonex pedal, and they gave me NFRs. That's not for resale. NFR serials for all the EVH stuff. 78, 79, 80, 81, and I guess it's 82, 84, or 83, 84. And I haven't even had a chance to look at it. I have gas heat in my house. We heat natural gas, yeah. We have gas running to the house. And you kind of miss that because it's much, much cheaper to run a gas dryer than an electric dryer. It's much, much cheaper to run a gas hot water heater than it is to run an electric hot water heater. So I like the natural gas. I think it's, a better source of energy. So we're all natural gas, and that's pretty, our stove is natural gas. The furnace, the hot water heater, and the dryer. All our major appliances that need heat run off natural gas. I suppose you could do propane, right? But you got to get the propane filled every so often, and I'm sure that ain't cheap. What's it cost to fill what are they? I don't even know. I have no idea. Is it a 100-gallon tank? Is it a 200-gallon tank? Like, what's that giant propane tank that's on its friggin' side there? I got to think that's 100 gallons. How long does that go? Does it go a month? The winter? I have no idea. Yeah, natural gas is best, yeah. I prefer cooking with gas versus electric. I think it's easier to control it. You can literally see the flame, right? Instead of trying to work the electric. Just turn the flame down. It's just such an instant feedback on what you're getting for heat, And we used to joke with people with old laptops. Well, the problem is the pilot light went out on this thing. I didn't know they still made kerosene-burning laptops. My God, this thing is old. Oh, man. $3.50 a gallon in Pennsylvania for propane, sure. Propane can be 5-gallon buried tanks, wow. Your furnace and your hot water is both propane, yeah. That seems to be the alternative gas product is propane. And propane and propane-related accessories. I can't help but think of King of the Hill. I'll tell you what. I'm going to go down and get a little bit of propane. You have two 100-gallon tanks. You have to fill them twice in the winter. So about $1,200 or so a year. Okay, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. When we had home heating oil, we were paying... that guy showed up one time. When I first moved in, oil was down to 79 cents a gallon. And I remember getting 100 gallons for like $80. I was like, no problem. When we converted from oil to gas, natural gas, and got rid of the oil burner, the prior year, oil had hit $5.20 a gallon. For a tank of oil, it cost me like $1,030 instead of $97. That's quite a difference. I'm like, I can't live like this. At least the natural gas market is a little bit more regulated, and the price spikes aren't so crazy. And so we switched to natural gas. Right at the time we switched to natural gas, fracking came out. And natural gas prices fell through the floor. And I remember, that first I said, well, don't because my wife was like, our gas bill is pretty freaking low. You sure that furnace is even? I said, no, it's high efficiency. I'm telling you. Wait till January. At the end of January, our bill for the end of the month with a gas stove, gas hot water heater, a gas dryer, and our gas furnace was like $268. I was like, I will take that all day. Now, other years have been worse. Gas prices go up. Winters are worse, and you have the heat up a little bit more. So it's not all friggin', rainbows and unicorns. But at that time, it was like, oh my God, what a friggin' move. Usually fill up twice a year, about 400 so per fill. Yeah, for the propane. Yeah. On natural gas now, switch from oil, so much better. The problem with oil is that you got to pay attention to it. And unless you go on like an oil plan where they're coming and filling you, those are always a gank. It's like it is, my father-in-law goes to this oil company, and it's like the friggin' Gold Star friggin' oil company. And sure, he gets tons of service and all this stuff, but my God, they are expensive. And if you went and looked up their oil prices, they won't even list their oil prices. It's like, well, we're a service company. They don't even want to get into it because they charge so much for friggin' oil. If they knew you could go out, so there's a website called New England Oil, and they just list everyone's oil price. It's a great way to get information about how much is. That's where I found the oil that we were getting before we converted to gas. It's where I found the guy who was 79 cents. I was like, 79 cents? I'll take 200 gallons, bro. 79 cents a gallon. Hook me up. But that didn't last long. What's up, Chuck? I live in the hill and had 3 oil tanks. 3 oil tanks. Oh my God, a fill up was brutal. I can imagine. And I can't think electric is really any better. So Overlord saying that's so much better than paying for electric. I think electric it's kind of pricey. I'm not crazy about electric heat either. I just think mini splits is where it's at, right? Because they're on electric, but they use that gas expansion, right? Between it's compression and expansion, and they can pull the latent heat. And you're like, yeah, but how much latent heat is out there at like 25 degrees Fahrenheit? You'd be surprised. Some of them work down to like minus 27. They can still pull a little bit of heat out of the air. And so unless if you're not up in like northern Maine or like, some area of the Midwest where it gets like, you're not in Fargo, where it's getting like negative temperatures for extended periods of time, especially if you're in a place like Texas or you know what I'm saying, much further south where you get cold periods without a doubt. But your winter is mostly between, 35 and 45 degrees or, 35 and 50 degrees. It's not like between 0 degrees Fahrenheit and 25 degrees. That's much harder for those mini splits to handle. But a heat pump in a place that has, an average winter temperature of like 37 degrees Fahrenheit, you'll get 3 watts of energy for every 1 watt you put into it. How is that not a deal? Resistive electric heat is terrible. Modern heat pumps are pretty good. Yeah, because it harnesses that latent heat. It's amazing. Isn't home heating oil essentially the same product as diesel fuel? I'm not sure, but home heating oil, if you lit a match and threw it into a puddle of home heating oil, it would douse the match. Home heating oil has to get pushed through a tiny nozzle under a heavy pressure, right, with the oil pump to atomize it and spray it out as a super fine spray, so that you have all these little droplets of oil and a lot of oxygen mixed in, and then it can ignite. It needs that ratio of, oil to oxygen, and that like it has to come out like a super fine spray for it to actually catch on fire. But you know what? The oil heat smelled, right? Oil heat just has a nasty odor. I had a poor buddy of mine. He had his oil tank. If you've ever had this happen, mention it in the comments. He had his oil tank like break at the bottom and leak the oil out of the tank, like all over to the floor. And he had a drain in the middle of the floor. It went down the drain. So he filed a claim with his insurance. He stunk like home heating oil for weeks as they did the cleanup. They realized it went down under his house, and they like friggin' came and like jacked up his house and excavated the soil under it. He goes, I can't even imagine the millions of dollars this cost. He goes, it's unbelievable. They have the Mass EPA out there. And I was like, dude, man, that is crazy. And, that poor dude, he went through it. But he goes, the insurance covered it all. He goes, that had to be, I can't even imagine the amount of money they paid. He goes, we had workers there. They had to do all this work inside. I figured that was it. No. Now we're digging up your whole backyard. We're digging underneath your house. And we're going to get to that. We got to get to that area that was contaminated by the oil and pull that dirt out, which was in the middle of his friggin' house. I'm like, dude. He's like, yeah, no, it's a goddamn nightmare. But they did it. He didn't really have to pay. He had like a very low deductible. And in fact, they paid him tons of money for everything that was destroyed in the basement. His TV, like a lot of furniture, because it was sitting in home heating oil. And I was like, I can't believe they spent the money. He's like, I'm not saying anything. I don't want to lose the house. And he goes, but man, that had to be ridiculously expensive with the crew that they had there. And I swear to God, that crew was there for like 3 weeks. I was like, dude, that's, and he stunk like home heating oil. He would come into work, all his clothes would smell like home heating oil. I'm like, oh, I felt bad for him. Yeah, oil spills, you're effed if that happens. You really are. He had the insurance that covered it, but, I think today he might get a lot more pushback. That would have been 1999? I think he bought the house in 98. And, 1999 it probably was. It wasn't too long after he moved in. So when we converted from oil to gas, they took the old oil burner and they hammered down the line, and which runs underneath the concrete from the oil tank. But they left the tank, and I was like, aren't you guys taking the tank? They're like, no, we don't take the tank. That's like hazardous waste. We can't take it. So I was trying to find someone to, the tank was half full. I had over 100 gallons in there. It's like a 250-gallon tank, 220-gallon tank. And I'm pretty sure I had, you know, about 100 gallons, 110 gallons. So I found a guy on Craigslist, and he goes, I get 130 to take the tank away. I said, well, what if it's got oil in it? Will you give me any money for the oil? He goes, I can't really give you a ton of money for the oil because we're not really even supposed to use that oil. He said, but I can go like $100. He goes, I'll knock off 30. He goes, and I got to bring a guy out. Well, he goes, are you sure it's got that amount in it? I said, no, it's got about a half a tank. He said, all right. And so he goes, I'll do it for $100. And he goes, I'll take the whole thing away. We'll drain it. We'll take the whole thing out of there. I said, okay. No one else. I was getting quoted $500-600 and no money for the oil. So he goes, you know what? I'll give you like $30 for the oil, and we'll call it $100 even. I'll get the $30 out of this other guy. I said, all right. So they showed up and they started emptying the tank. They're like, wow, this is great. They were so happy. And then he's like, do you want to leave the fill? Because, you know, he'd broken off the fill on the inside, right? He'd cut it off to go, the Sawzall that goes to the tank. And I said, you know, maybe I'll leave it. And then I said, you know what? Take it out. And he said, you know what? He goes, normally I charge $30. He goes, I'll take it out for free because you got so much oil here. And he just tapped it out and completely filled it in. He goes, because what's going to happen is your oil guy's going to come by and he's going to like pour the oil right down that drain, right into your goddamn basement. I said, you know, I could see that situation. Believe it or not, I had a friend that had an oil tank spill in his basement, and I don't want that. So I said, yeah, why don't you take the fill out? So we smashed the fill out. I said, I'm not going back to oil. You know, I'm pretty much at natural gas at this point. I know, 100 pounds, right? Please, how cheap is that? That's awesome. I'm a kerosene heater survivor, baby. Oh, man. They were everywhere in my house growing up. Yeah, those were dangerous. God, we had the kerosene. We got one. We were so cold in the barn. We were freezing our ass off in the winter. There was video of us playing guitar and the big streams of, like, friggin' breath coming out from the friggin' cold, like the movie The Thing. And we got a kerosene heater, but it couldn't really heat that barn up. It would, you know, it would bring it from, you know, 42 to 44. Where is this guy? I need his number. I know, right? That probably would have been in, oh, Jesus. We had it changed in 2008, and I was losing my mind that we were going to have an oil spill. I mean, it might have been 2010. In 2011, he came out to take that out. And he looked in rough shape. If I had to guess, I'd say he's dead. That dude looked in poor health, man. He looked rough. He was haggard. He was around a lot of oil for a lot of years. What's up, Zoot? Not really. Got a wood burner, fire burning in your fireplace as we speak. Yeah, free heat. We had a gorgeous fireplace when we lived in Woburn. When we were looking at places, I said, you know, wouldn't be a terrible thing to get a nice working fireplace or a wood burning stove. Those heaters were illegal in Mass back then, the kerosene heaters. I did in school, when I was in high school, we had to write a speech. And my speech was, why are they selling kerosene heaters at Osco Drug when they're illegal to use in Massachusetts? But they were. They I don't know. Now there's all kinds of warnings, don't use them inside. But back then they were like, you could totally use a kerosene heater inside, but not really. Not really. I feel like there's a lot of carbon monoxide coming off those things. I thought kerosene was another oil that if you dropped a match into kerosene, it would douse the match, right? Kerosene wouldn't catch on fire like that. But I could be wrong. Maybe it's just a low. Is kerosene enough? Gasoline's the one you got to worry about, or is it just the lower fumes? I thought kerosene was a little bit less volatile. Let's go, I guess, bills to pay, son. That's why, yeah. Yeah, that was the early 80s. Because I'd love to hear what you think about the Tonex. Yeah, I want to get it going soon. But it's been a busy week. It's been a kooky busy week. Kerosene, hey, you just have a built-in CO detector. That's a great idea. Yeah. You had a friend that, oh, yeah, that's Sweetie. Oh, and just to give you a follow-up on Cutie, she's been doing much better. She's almost, she's seemingly back to 100%. She was back out and about and around and doing, all the normal stuff. Yeah, flash point is 100 degrees or more on kerosene. Yeah. Can't get sites working for the World Series, yeah. Oh, okay. Also has a CO2 detection. Yeah. We don't know what happened to Cutie. She just suddenly was injured and hiding from us, and she couldn't move her tail. She had tail paralysis, and I was like, "Oh, how much is this going to cost me?" And I was booking a vet, and my wife was like, "Will you hold up and just see if she's okay?" She probably just sprained it or pinched the nerve. Just hold up, and she is doing a lot better. Took her a couple of weeks, but she's seemingly back to normal. So I have dipped a toe. I like to do that once in a while. I like to dip a toe. I dipped a toe into the world of AI music because just curious. So I bought a subscription of Suno just to see. For me, it would be good to whip up a a backing track. Is it going to allow me to log? It is. Hold up. My ad blocker is wouldn't let me do it. Okay. No. Oh, God, I'm hitting the wrong thing here. So what I wanted to do, here we go, now we're here. What I wanted to do was come up with a backing track, right? It's just a quick way to write a back, because all my friends, when they do their YouTube videos, and there's no promises that I'm ever going to use this, but, people are like, you never play over backing tracks, you always just noodle, and, would like to hear it in a mix and all that stuff, but the problem is whenever I've used a backing track, the owner of that backing track comes in and says, "Oh, that's my copyrighted backing track," which I don't know shit about. And they're like, "And I want money." And what they wind up doing is taking half my freaking money. So I was like, let me just come up. I'll subscribe to Suno and see if it can just whip me up some backing tracks, right? And I could even tell it the key I want it to be in, right? And I can give it some guidance. And I said, let me just try this. So my first foray into a funk track, I just said, again, I'm just trying it out. I've only done, I literally subscribed to it last night. I haven't even been a subscriber for 24 hours. Yeah, it's like cat sciatica. So this is what it came up with first. I don't know if you can hear this, but... right? So sure. So I said, why don't you do another one? Right? Okay. Right. Just a little bit of a backing track so I can play over it. Literally, they wrote those songs in 15 seconds. So then I said, well, let me do something a little different. I said, write me a song about my chonky cat named Cutie, and do it in an Americana style. That's all I wrote. Give me a chonky cat song, a song about my chonky cat, and don't make it Get Back Chonky Cat, because I'm going to get sued by Elton John. Give me a Cutie the Chonky Cat song, and this is what it came up with.
She waddles to the kitchen, always right on cue. Her paws tap the floor, it's a soft parade. With every step she takes, the earth feels sway. She's a fur-covered queen, a whisker machine. Cutie the chonky cat, rolling where the food is at.
My wife loved this song so friggin' much.
Yeah, that's a fact. Cutie the chonky cat. Sunbeam sprawled, she's a pancake spread. Dreaming of tuna on a feathered bed.
Oh, this is going to be a truckery song at some point. And you know it's going to do a great job with the truckery.
Cutie the chonky cat, stretching where the snacks are stacked.
He wrote all the lyrics.
There's no going back. Cutie the chonky cat. Cutie the chonky cat.
And I was like, okay. oh, we're having fun, right? Cutie the chonky cat. So I said, okay, that's pretty fun. So then I was like, well, can we do the same thing but for Buddy? Now, Buddy's not chonky. Buddy is an annoying cat that follows you around all day. And so I said, write me a song about my black cat named Buddy who follows me around all day. And it wrote, Buddy, my shadow friend. And I said, could you write it in the style of a contemporary romantic jazz song? They were like, done. This is why every musician's out of business. This is what it came up with for Buddy, as a cat that follows you around all day.
Buddy, my shadow friend, is so small and sleek.
First of all, that's goddamn Bublé, right?
A whisper of midnight.
I mean, that's Bublé, right?
With a curious streak.
You follow my footsteps, so eager, so true. Always there with those eyes of deep blue.
Oh, buddy, you're the melody to my day, the little black charm that won't drift away. You pour out your love in your own sweet way. Buddy, my shadow, you brighten my gray. You weave through my legs a soft velvet plea.
Look at me, love me, don't you dare let me be.
Your paws tap the floor like a jazz serenade. In the dance of attention, you've got it made.
You've got it made.
Every meow's a verse,
Every blink's a rhyme.
you're the star of my heart.
Every single time.
Oh, buddy, you're the melody to my day.
What a
The
banger.
little black charm that won't drift away. You pour out your love in your own sweet way. Buddy, my shadow, you brighten my gray. And when the moonlight kisses
B-section.
your coat, you shimmer like dreams on a love-struck note.
In your small needy ways, you hold my heart.
A loyal duet will never part.
Where's my goddamn Grammy? Yeah, it's Cat Lounge music.
Oh, buddy, you're the melody to my day. The little black charm that won't drift away. You pour out your love in your own sweet way. Buddy, my shadow, you brighten my gray.
A little tag. What am I doing? Here's the problem with all AI generated music, though. By definition, it's not copyrightable. Right. Only things created by humans can be copyrighted. By definition, anything created by a machine is non-copyrightable. Now, you're going to watch the shit show that it comes because of the way that is the law right now. And you watch people, people say like, they're like, well, when you come up with a good prompt, don't I get credit for the prompt? You don't. You actually don't. Because at the end of the day, it's still not created by a human. And those arguments have been made. There was an elephant that was making paintings. And people were just copying the paintings and putting them on a shirt because it's public domain. And the guy was like, what the frick? I'm the one who curates the paint. I'm the one that puts the brush, hands them the brush. I'm the one choosing the paint colors. I'm the one choosing the size of the canvas. I'm the one making all these decisions about what the frickin' elephant does with the paintbrush. And the court said, yeah, but at the end of the day, it's still the elephant making the painting. And by definition, a painting made by an elephant is public domain and cannot be copyrighted. That's why I'm saying you just wait for the shit show that's going to happen over this. And then the other big one was the monkey that stole the guy's camera. A monkey steals a guy's camera and takes a bunch of selfie photos with it, right? Now, what a spectacular story. And the photos are outstanding. He's like, he can see himself in the I think maybe in the lens, and he's smiling and taking his own photo. And that photo went viral. Well, that guy's like, yeah, that's my camera. That's my image. And the court said, no. As a matter of fact, that's definitely not your image. You didn't take that image. That image was taken by a monkey. And it's so funny because when they give guidance on what can be copyrighted, they say all copyrights must be created by humans. Notable exceptions are a painting by an elephant, a selfie by a monkey. They literally put that right in there to say, yeah, it was your equipment. You had all the settings set on the camera. It didn't mean shit because you didn't pull the trigger on the camera and actually shoot the photo. That guy was losing his mind because that photo was so freaking viral, right? He's like, finally, I'm a broke freaking photographer. I finally have one viral goddamn photo and I can't earn a dime off of it because it was taken by a goddamn monkey. You know? And it's like, guy was losing his mind. But the court was like, no, you didn't take it. Sorry, dude. You got to actually take the photo if you want to be the, gain a copyright. You can't just, be adjacent to it. And, now you got to pay the monkey. And that monkey ain't cheap, let me tell you. So the monkey didn't unload it. The monkey's helper, that guy, unloaded it. Apparently, he was the monkey's assistant. But the bottom line was that that guy ran to court to try to block people from using his photo, and the court smacked him down and said, no, that photo was taken by a monkey. And monkey-taken photos have no copyright. They are, by definition, naturally occurring. And anything occurs naturally, right? And so, the elephant with the friggin' paintbrush and the friggin' monkey with the camera. And so you're going to say like, I created this image. Yeah, but it was my prompt. They're like, it doesn't matter. It was his camera. It was the guy's canvas. That friggin' elephant didn't put together that color palette, didn't choose the brush, didn't choose the canvas. He was handed all this stuff, and he knew enough to swat a few things on the canvas, and that's it. But those images are, by definition, public domain. So you watch the shit show because there's too much money at stake. No one gives a shit about an elephant painting or a monkey friggin', right? That's a one-time random event. Or with the elephant, it's repeat. They were selling them, right? But people were just stealing them and putting them on. You could print your own elephant freaking photo because they can't possibly own it. And that they were getting upset because they were like, they're stealing our friggin' elephant paintings. And they're like, yeah, well, you don't own them. Sorry. So you watch the shit show that happens with AI because by definition, it's uncopyrightable. And people are like, yeah, but that's how we earn money. So you watch how this shit show just blows up in the next 10 years, maybe even the next 5. Exactly. The guy was the monkey's assistant. I tell you, that monkey, he's not easy to work with. What with the feces slinging and all that. Oh, no. Anyone could steal AI-generated music. Anyone can steal AI-generated video. Anyone can steal AI-generated images. Anything generated by AI. Buddy, my shadow friend, Cutie, the chonky cat. Though so whenever you do it, I'm not gonna go play the whole thing. But whenever you do, when you say make me a song, they always make 2 versions, right? An A and a B. And they say, which one do you like? Whatever. They always do 2. And so this is the alt take for Cutie the Chonky Cat. I'm just going to play the opening bars. And I'm going to stop it, and you tell me in the comments, in the chat, what song they're ripping off, right? Not completely, but I'm hearing it. You ready?
Cutie's got a belly like...
Right? What did you hear there? Right? You get that? Let me try it again. Lay Down Sally. Right? Lay Down Sally. Is that not just stolen completely from Lay Down Sally? Right? It was trained. is trained on AI models. Oh, yeah. Oh, really? Like what? Like Eric Clapton? That AI, right? So, yeah, let me play it one more time. Just listen to, I mean, they quickly move away from it, but the first time I heard it, I said, oh, that's Lay Down Sally. Lay down, Sally. Don't need to be so blue.
Cutie's got a belly like a rising moon.
Nice. Go to the fifth.
The kitchen, always right on cue.
Beautiful.
Her paws tap the floor. It's a soft parade. With every step she takes, the earth feels swayed. She's a fur-covered queen, a whiskered machine. Cutie the chonky cat, rolling where the food is at. She's a big old fluff, yeah, that's a fact. Cutie the chonky cat. Cutie the chonky cat. Sunbeam sprawled, she's a pancake spread. Dreaming of tuna on a feathered bed. Her tail's a flagpole, high and stout, but her leap to the couch, well, it's more of a bounce. She's a nap time pro, a purr volcano. Cutie the chonky cat.
When she leaps from the couch, it's more like a bounce. So yeah. So it's not. I wouldn't call it completely original. Yeah, it's Eric Clapton. Lay down, cutie. Lay down, cutie. So anyway, that's been in my life for the last 24 hours. I told my wife, you're all getting cat songs for Christmas. I used AI to come up with my first composition. It's called Flaming Embers. Nice. Oh my God, am I getting the friggin' hiccups again? Anything? No, that's empty. So this week I'll try to work on songs. The funny thing is that it's not unlimited. Even though I paid for a year's subscription, you only get so many credits. I got 10,000 credits, and every song uses up 10 credits. So, I'm already down to 9,970 credits because I made 3 songs. I made the cutie song, the buddy song, and the funk song. All right, so because they're like, you just can't sit here and just whip through like 100 million friggin'. You can't use it 24 hours a day and tax our service. You'll blow right through your credits. So it's just a way to keep people, to only put stuff up like Cutie the Chonky Cat. I mean, just real things. Nothing stupid. I know I got to do a trailer song. I got to do a clammy song. I got to do songs for the other 2 cats. Henri, almost certainly K-pop. Sweetie, I'm thinking death metal. Because Sweetie is, she is walking death. The Clamp song, of course. When a clamp comes into your life. Got to do a Clamp song. Got to do a trailer song. We got to do, well, Jesus, songs about everything. Oh yeah, God, we probably have to do a member shame song. With the bells and all. Say, we're gonna need some tubular bells in this. Good. See, this is why you got to crowdsource this. I need a sump pump song. Oh my God, totally. I got my rotten porch. Did I ever tell you about my rotten porch? Yep. I forget who it was. Was it Yeti Matzi? Some dude was like, what does he do with all these guitars of the week? And Yeti Matzi was like, oh, didn't you hear? He's got a rotten roof, and he's been using it to fix the rotten section of his roof using the leftover guitars. I was like, nice. Nice. Squirrels in the attic? Yeah. Squirrels in the attic. Squirrels in the wall. Squirrels in the attic. Squirrels in the wall. Squirrels in the wall. Yeah, that was you, wasn't it? Yeah. The Shame Bell song should involve Gregorian chants. I like where you're going with that. I like that. Got to have a build up, yeah. But I really, what I'd like to do is on Guitar of the Week, starting maybe next year, I don't know if I can do it this year, is make a part of my process to sort of like have AI whip up a song that sort of, best reflects the, the feel of the guitar, the vibe. That's what I'm looking for, the guitar vibe. Some Pump Blues, Squirrels in the Attic, Squirrels in the Attic. The King of Buffington Lane. Now you're talking, dude. The King of Buffington Lane. And it will have to be classical. The King of Buffington. Yeah. Oh, good. Oh, thank you, Deanna. Funding for the Shame song. Thank you. I'll work on it this week. I'll give you a few to check out next week. What genre should the Shame song be? Should it be like the Tubular Bells and Gregorian chants, or should it be like a metal tune? Could it be K-pop? I mean, maybe. Was that Cutie? Cutie's the tuxedo. I did see Sweetie go by. Who's that? She over there? I don't see her. Dude. Acapella. Yeah. Cutie is cute cat. Sitting on that. Right. In the style of Primus. Gregorian chant. Yeah. Chamber music. Gregorian chant. Yeah. Yeah, all these genres are eligible. Why not one of each? I mean, I have 10,000 credits. You know it when you hear it, though. I agree. You'll know it when you hear it. Like a Jethro Tull minstrel style. See, that's the out-of-the-box thinking that I need. Hell's Bells style Shame? Sure. I had Highway to Hell playing while I was out front waiting for the kids to come up on the porch. You got to sit out there or they'll just rob you blind. They'll take half the friggin' thing. They'll like literally dump it in their bag and run off laughing. So you can't leave it out there. Can't leave it. And you got to shut some of them down. They're like, oh my God, I'm taking all the ring pops. No, you're not. You take one or two, but that's it, bro. Enough. And one kid was like, can I have 3? I said, no. How about 2? And he was like, okay. And then when they left, I said, Get 3. I just couldn't say that in front of them. He was like, oh, okay. Go ahead. Take whatever you want, kid. I gave you $10. Go wild. There you go. It won't generate a song if you include an artist name in the request to simulate. But what you can do, because I signed up to the like platinum level, because what they do is they hide like a lot of the features behind the platinum wall. So you gotta pony up some cash, bro, if you want the best service. So I did. I'm on top tier. I'm on like platinum level. And one of the things you can do is you can upload a song and say, turn this into a 70s funk song. That's where all those channels, because it's not the original. You can upload an Iron Maiden song and say, turn this into a 70s funk song, and they come up with a whole new song based on what they hear in that tune. And while it's similar, it's far enough away that the guy probably gets a copyright claim, but not a copyright strike, right? That guy within 6 months had over 100,000 subscribers. I mean, I could probably, my wife's just like, you should offer I'll write a song about your pet. Give me the name of your pet, a few details about them, the more the better, and I'll integrate them into a song. Have AI whip up the song and send it back to them for $50, $20, whatever. I'll write a song for they don't know how to do it. She goes, leverage this shit. She goes, you bought the commercial tear. You can sell it. I was like, you might be onto something there. She goes, come up with a website and just say, I'll write a song about your dog or your cat. Just tell me about them and I'll whip up just like Cutie the Chonky Cat. Right? Or the Buddy one. What was it called? Buddy My Shadow? Buddy My Shadow Friend. Huh?
Buddy, my shadow friend, so small and sleek, a whisper of midnight with a curious streak. You follow my footsteps, so eager, so true, always there with those eyes of deep.
Yeah, Buffington Studios.
Oh, buddy, you're the melody to my day, the little black charm that won't drift away. You pour out your love in your own sweet way. Buddy, my shadow, you brighten my gray.
You weave through my legs a soft velvet plea.
Look at me, love me, don't you dare let me be.
That was 30 seconds. You know what I'm saying? I could probably write a script that would have them, you populate all these fields on a website. It will pretty much generate the input. Tell me the style of song you want. I toss that all into friggin' Suno. It's SUNO, Suno AI Music. You can see it right there. Right, there's Buddy My Shadow Friend. There's Cutie the Cat. There's the funk stuff, right? Just throw everything in the friggin', in the dialogue box and let her rip. Here's 2 different versions. Pick the one you like. Right? Keep them both. What do I give a shit? It's a hell of a song that gets, yeah. Yeah, well, the other one is Cutie. So there's 2 different Cuties. There's one that's the slower one. More acoustic. The other one feels more electric guitar. Slide.
kitchen, always right on cue.
I can just see the video montage I put over this.
Her paws tap the floor, it's a soft parade. With every step she takes, the earth feels sway. She's a fur-covered queen, a whisker machine. Cutie, a chonky cat, rolling where the food is at.
Here's your earworm.
Yeah, that's a fact. Cutie, the chonky cat.
You know there's a truckery song coming, right? I mean, of course. Of course there's a truckery song coming. I will not give up on the truckery. Right? Need a video of her walking around looking stupid. Huh? What? Exactly. Where's my goddamn Grammy? You know who just seemingly bought into a year of this too is RJ, Ronquillo. He used it for a video he did for, he had it whip up a backing track and including lyrics about the pedal he was working on. He had it just whip up the tune as a backing track and played over it. And I was like, bro, you're stealing my ideas. And he was getting a little bit of shit in the comments. People were like, what the hell, bro? You're like a studio musician and you're like using AI. And he's like, yeah, because it's fast and it's easy. I ain't got time for this shit. It whips out a song. It shits out a song faster than I can think it up. You know? And again, this is like beta 1. Wait until we're into it. I can upload a song to that beta studio and say break it into individual tracks, and it is the best individual stem, breaker I have ever heard. The other one was RipX. It makes RipX look like garbage. It is stunning how much it can rip these songs. It's a longer process. That's not 30 seconds, but it can do it. It is shocking how good it is at ripping stems apart. It is insane. And that's really good if you're trying to learn a tune. Because you can isolate, and especially a tune like Van Halen, where it's usually just like hard right or hard left, right? It's like they were doing, in those first couple albums, he was doing heavy panning. That AI will rip that right out, and say, oh yeah, here's just the solo. So, it's coming. I'd blow 80,000 on a Lightning if this song was playing in the showroom. There you go. See? Like, you know what? I wasn't going to buy this, but now that I'm hearing Cutie the Chonky Cat, yes. Cutie the Chonky Cat. Oh, no, we're in an AI gold rush. Absolutely. Just like there was a YouTube gold rush 10 years ago. Can it score a horror film? I'm sure it can. I would probably have it whip up the music if I ever did a Halloween special again. I could have it, I could have it whip up the backing track for it. It is unbelievable. You got to watch Henning's video. I've been a subscriber for less than 24 hours. I subscribed at like 1 a.m. last night. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to try it. And my first songs were the funk tunes. And then after that, Cutie the Chonky Cat. And then tonight, when I was playing Cutie the Chonky Cat, my wife was like, you should write a song about Buddy. But it's got to be jazz, and it's got to be about how he's like follows you around all day. So I kind of put that in there. Write a song about my black cat, my little black cat, who follows me around all day and is super friendly. And it whipped up to those two jazz tunes. which is, quite frankly, Michael Bublé. It's got Bublé all over it. Steve, can it remove sax from 80 songs? It probably could. The problem is that you would have to remix it. They don't want to get into commercial stuff. They really don't. When Henning, so I noticed like when Henning said, take this song and like add, like punch it up with like back strings or something like that, it did a whole new song. It used none of the original audio. It trained itself on what he uploaded, but then it wrote its own version of it, which was a really good version, but it doesn't want to get into stuff it uploads as copyright because it doesn't want to get in any lawsuits. So what I probably could do, and I'll try it and see if it works, is so there's a guy out there who, it's all AI done. It's all done through Suno, I'm pretty sure. And what he does is he uploads, like, say, The Trooper, right, from Iron Maiden. He says, make this into a 70s funk song. And they do it. And then he posts it up to YouTube, and people are like, holy shit, this song is a banger. This is unbelievable. This is so freaking good. And he was doing it for a whole bunch of different genres and stuff, but he really started focusing more on the funk stuff because it was really good at doing it. And it's such a narrow classification, like the 70s funk. But I will say, a lot of times, that singer sounded a lot like James Brown. James Brown, and I would say Little Richard. Without a doubt. No, we're all out of jobs. It's all over. The only job that will be left is fixing the AI machine. Yep, hold on. Got to go get some ball bearings. The robot chicks look strong, I know. Yeah, I better know how to use your hands because desk jobs are ending. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of going where it's at. Except for those protected by law, like a lawyer, right? Only a lawyer can represent somebody else. You can always represent yourself unless you're a corporation. Corporations always have to be represented by counsel because they are a separate entity in the mind of the law. So so lawyers aren't going anywhere because they're protected by law. And pretty much doctors too. In fact, a lot of professions are. But it's all hands-on work. I could see this really upending the law, but only if it really genuinely uses real cases. The problem with AI was that lawyers were submitting the work, and the judge was coming back going, my clerk was looking this case up and can't find it. Was this AI-generated content? And the lawyer had to go in and apologize and say, it was. And they're like, and you didn't check this? And you submitted this to the court? And they're like, how am I? They're like, no, don't make our work, triply hard because you're citing cases that don't exist. I can't rely on this. So once they really do rely on genuine cases and don't just make shit up, that's going to be the end of a huge part of the legal industry. Because you could get a job, if you were a lawyer, you could just get down and get a job as a document reader, right? You would go through and go through discovery documents looking for things. They were already doing a thing with scanning and using OCR and looking for keywords. But you would still need a person to go and look up that keyword and see what was surrounding it and put that keyword in context, right? That's going to be done by AI. All those jobs are gone. every time I see Cybertruck, yeah. Yeah, first level doc review is going to be gone. I agree. I agree. It's, oh no, there's a change afoot. There's a big time change. Yeah, 6 fingers, that's the new norm. Listen, everything costs more. 6 fingers. Remember, 1,000 is the new 500. The problem, and it'll get there eventually. The problem with robots is just like literally picking up a cord, right, an electric cord, and like plugging it into a socket correctly is something that humans can do in a nanosecond without really even thinking about it much. Robots, that is a challenge. They said we have two hoses separated. They need to be joined together and screwed together at a joint. Robots struggle with that. A robot doesn't, they're trying to understand the two ends and, you know what I'm saying? They can't, it's not there yet. Someday, but not now. Just signed up. Good Lord, I'm going to spend endless hours on this site. Yeah. No, I bought a year. I dropped, what is it, $280 for a year. And you still only get 10. You know what? I should come up with a link because I think I can earn more credits by, don't they have like a credit? I think you get like a credit program where you can like earn more credits by sending people to them to sign up. I should get an affiliate link, right? And they don't pay you any money. They just give you more credits. I did see, of course I saw the Gene Simmons movie Runaway, right? With all the little, eventually they turn on him. I just wrote 2 songs on it right now. Yeah, no, it's super easy. Yep, some ball bearings, a little 40 weight motor oil. That's all you need. Listen, what do you need, a refresher course? It's all ball bearings these days. See if I can pay that off in 1 week. I know, right? Selling songs to pet owners. Yeah, I think Suno has a thing where they do like if you refer a friend, they throw some credits your way. They're like, earn credits, refer a friend, or I think they ask you to like review music. There's something you can earn credits without paying. So it's like by paying my money, I got 10,000 credits. I'm already down to 9,970. They take 10 credits for every song you make. Again, or else it would just be wide open and people would be going cuckoo, like every 5 seconds coming up with a new tune. And they can't have that kind of stress on their systems. I understand why they have to do some metering. Understood. I mean, 10,000 credits is a lot of credits. It's basically 1,000 songs, right? Right, because 10 credits for every song, 10,000 credits, there you go. But you can earn credits. I was noticing they were like, if you're running low on credits, you can actually earn them by, I don't know if you do a review. One of them was like, refer a friend, using an affiliate link, but you don't earn any money, you just earn credits. Are they end of the year credits you can apply to next year's charges? Is that true, or is it? I don't know about that. Maybe. That would be the true corporate way to do it. Right? Well, God forbid we don't give them anything now. It's later. Yeah, exactly. It's like Dropbox increasing your space. Yeah, time went by quickly tonight. Absolutely. Check out Monday's video. It's a very different guitar than I normally do. And pretty simple guitar. But still fun. And I think I have another video coming out this week. I think I have 2 videos coming out this week. That might change, but for now. With the free version of Suno, you get 50 credits a day, but you have to use them up first. Understood? Understood. So you wonder if I blow through all my 10,000 credits, if you can wait a day and get 50 more? I doubt it. Right? If you just revert to the free program in terms of like the amount of credits you get, I don't know. I'd have to look at the terms of service. We need to speak more about this AI stuff in the future pods. Exactly. Time flies when you listen to Chonky Cat. Oh, that is your earworm. Cutie is a Chonky Cat. My wife loved it. She's like, oh my God. Have a good one, speaker. We'll talk soon. Absolutely. That's why every musician's selling off their catalog. Right? Trying to cash it out before music becomes worthless. Exactly, we can lament about the cat issues. Cutie's tail just ain't right. No, you rock. Yeah, that could be a Total song, right? No, you rock. In the 80s metal style. We'll come up with a few bangers for next week. All right, guys, it is 9 o'clock. I'm going to wrap it up. It's actually getting pretty damn cold in here because I've had the window open for a while. And time to wrap her up. Great hanging out with you guys tonight. Thanks so much for hanging. I'll see you all in a week. Check out Monday's video. It's, a killer... I won't give too much about it, but it's a little guitar, and then we will. I might have another video. It's scheduled. We'll see if the scheduling changes, but for Thursday as well. And then next Saturday we'll do it all again, and there you go. So there you have it. No, you rock. I'm gonna I need a theme song now, right? The No You Rock theme song. Start and end the program. I want to go catch the World Series. So you guys have a great week. I'll see you all next week. Have a wonderful week. And there you go. All right, I'm off. Later.